Welcome back, guys. We are continuing on with the replay series on Mechabellum, and I believe this is the first replay that I've done where I use Heavy Armor Specialist. So it was a little bit of a trial game. Now with Heavy Armor Specialist, I think it's best used with units that have high health pools, because having 17% extra armor or health on a unit that's hardly got any health anyway, it's not going to make much difference because most things that kill them are overkilling them anyway. So the idea was to try and go for some large units like giants, and the steel balls are also pretty decent in that regards. So I've got steel balls, fang and heavy armor. They've got snipers, sledges, they've brought in a couple of fangs, and they've got giant specialist. So let's see what units I bring in. Looks like I'm bringing in another fang. Am I going to bring in another? Nope, maybe an arc light. Where am I going to put him? So I'm putting an arc light protecting the flank. Arc lights are pretty good at protecting the flank, but obviously they need an upgrade to be able to target air, so they're not the best. Mustangs are better. So when using steel balls, I feel like putting your units very close to the front of the battle is the best way to go about it, so they can potentially take out the towers. And even if one of your towers gets destroyed, because of the ramp up damage that steel balls do, they can still usually take out a tower fairly easily, even with the damage reduction from your own tower being taken out. Unfortunately, they decided to come down here and target the sledges instead of going up here and targeting the tower, so that was a bit unfortunate. It would have been much better for us if they'd have targeted the tower instead. But we have got quite a lot of fangs still left alive, and they are targeting the arc light, which is good for us. So they're not murdering the fangs. And round one goes to me. Now I'll just remind you that I am going to be adding in losses as well as wins into these replays. So you don't necessarily know if I'm going to win with the strategies that I'm playing or not. Just to add a bit of excitement in there. So I've taken heavy armor because I'm intending on taking some giants. He decided to go for strike specialist, so looks like he's coming, bringing in some phoenixes to take out the tower. I'm also going for a flank of my own with crawlers. Now this one won't survive because of the rocket there, but this one looks like it might survive. I think that's one of my rockets. It sure is. Unfortunately, one of the sledgehammers managed to evade. So he's going to take out my tower. Looks like two of my crawlers actually survived up there. So we return the favour and take one of their towers out. Unfortunately, the Phoenix locked onto the steel ball and not the crawlers. But things are looking good for us. The Fangs are cleaning up the Phoenixes. See if we can take out this tower. Not quite. And we take round 2 as well. So, next up, am I going to go for the subsidised Mustang, or am I going to go for the amplifying core? So because I'm intending on going for giants, I take another item to equip on the giants. Bringing in the Mustangs to address the flank. Putting another one over here because obviously the arc light isn't good enough to address the flank on his own. He has brought in a fortress and put the amplifying core on it. Now, I don't know whether this is a very good idea because I've got steel balls hanging around. So if the steel balls survive, they will make short work of the fortress. And he has left his flanks completely unattended. So I'm going to get to the towers again. We've dealt with the Phoenixes down there. So that's a mistake by him, leaving the flanks exposed. It's give us the opportunity to just walk through half of their army. And the steel balls have dealt with the fortress. So not a good round for the opponent on this one. So I take round 3. So he's gone for Assault Fangs. Not really sure if that is going to make much difference. I decide to skip. Now he has got Fangs with range on. So maybe that Assault Fangs is pretty decent. And here we go. This is my giant push. Now obviously he hasn't really got that much to deal with giants. He's only got the fortress and a couple of low-level snipers. So these fortresses are going to be pretty much unopposed for the time being. He's finally addressing the flank to some degree. Let's put some fangs there. He's just left these phoenixes high and dry, it looks like. But it looks like this flank might still come off with these crawlers. He did not put much over there, or anything over there to protect that flank. So once again, he has left his flank exposed. He should have learnt his lesson. He didn't. And my steel balls, once again, make short work of the fortress. And both of my fortresses are really healthy still. So I'll put the fortresses on the front line to absorb, so a bit closer to the enemy, to absorb some of the shots. Because that is basically the fortress's job, is to tank damage, so all of your weaker units stay alive longer. And I decided to go for the level 3 hacker. It's the first time I'd seen this, so I really wanted to see if I could hack this fortress. Now, you'll see here, putting it directly behind a giant is a bad idea. I thought, foolishly, I thought it'd kind of like walk through it a little bit, but it gets stuck and it has to walk around, so don't put hackers directly behind a giant. Let's see if he's addressed this flank. It does not look like it. So once again, he's left his flank exposed. What is he playing at? And we are hacking the fortress. And we steal it. So that level 3 hacker was incredibly powerful against Fortress. Did almost as much damage as my Fortress did to it. Steel Balls got the job done again. So yeah, a lot of mistakes by the opponent in this battle. It was not very well played by him. He really needed to address this flank. He managed to address this flank with the fangs, so I don't know why he didn't do the same thing here. And putting fortresses down where there's steel balls is never a good idea. And he left this Phoenix high and dry. He should have sold it or supported it. So yeah, quite a lot of mistakes by the opponent, which is rather strange considering I think he was in the top 30 or top 50 in the English speaking server. So for a top 30 or top 50 player, very poorly played. Now I will state that the ranking system isn't exactly a ranking system, because half the time it doesn't work and you don't actually lose points when you lose. Sometimes it does, you do lose points occasionally, but it's not consistent. So the people with high score and so high ranking have basically just played the game more. It doesn't necessarily mean they're a better player. It just means that they've got more score than people who haven't quite played as much. So my ranking is really high because I've played the game a lot, but I don't consider myself one of the best players because I feel like I'm still learning. For some reason, I seem to have taken a long time to learn this game, and I forget the fundamentals sometimes. So I definitely don't consider myself as high as what my ranking would suggest. But I do win more than I lose, and that is my main objective. So yeah, not a challenging mission this one, but I thought I'd show it anyway. I call it a mission, battle, whatever you want to call it. It was the first time I used a heavy armor specialist, so I just wanted to show it. Right, well, join me in the next one. We'll see what the next one holds. Cheers for watching, take care, and I shall see you soon.